Welcome, everybody. Episode 208 of Midlife Vices. We are the booster gold of YouTube shows. I'm Steve, and here with me, as always, is Jim. No special guest this week, so it is just the two of us.
Just
What's
the
going
two
on,
of
Jim?
us.
Just the two
Not
of
a whole
us.
lot. Your little introduction had like three things pop in my head now that need to be on my list. I'm changing some stuff.
so, yeah. He mentioned his list. Each week we do a pop culture related top 10 list, and this week's list is our top 10 TV or movie vehicles. So that will be what we are going with. Title of the episode is "You Drive Me Crazy." Yeah. So how's your week been?
It's been a good week. Been trying to think of everything I've done this week.
Yeah.
I have a cold going through our house, so I got some sick kids. But man, they're resilient. They don't let anything keep them down.
No.
We I was telling you earlier, we kept our oldest home from school today for the first time ever. He uh, he had some issues last night, and we didn't want him to have any issues at school, so we saved him some possible future embarrassment.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, his soccer game got canceled on Saturday, so it's been crazy. It's been either shorts weather or snowing.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I tilled up the front yard where the rubble from the tornado killed our grass, and I planted some grass this week. And I think you're froze. Oh no, you're not froze.
No, I'm here.
You're
No, I'm
you're
just very
unfroze.
still listening. I'm paying close attention.
Yeah, I think you did freeze for half a second on my
Oh,
end.
okay.
So,
Gotcha.
but,
Yeah, I
but
hear you with the weather thing, man. We're still, we got some more snow, and we've been off and on. It's sunny now. 15 minutes ago, it was snowing, wind blowing. We just can't get out of it this year. But I think the end of this week, the light is at the end of the tunnel. So looking to be in the 60s for the first time since probably last October, maybe early November. Uh, Man, I can't wait. I mean, we still have a foot and a half of snow to melt off out of my yard before I can do anything. But yeah, definitely looking forward to being able to get out and do some
yeah,
stuff other than
I,
walk,
the,
shovel.
the first day I can mow the grass, I love that day.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Other than that, not a whole lot going on with me. Uh, Usual
Well,
stuff, I
you
guess.
you got to tell the people that you got a job.
Oh, I do have a job. I think I mentioned that, didn't I? Maybe not.
I don't know.
I'm a part time seasonal bartender.
Yes, you did mention it.
Yeah, part time seasonal bartender. So, uh, yeah, that's fun. It's just a little local American Legion bar, and go in there a couple days a week, on average, for a few hours, and serve some old retired military veterans some alcohol. It's always fun. It's a real fun job. Probably the first job I've ever had that I didn't dread going into. Although it's only been like 4 days of working, so give it another week and I'll let you know.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. So you have to
That's
break up that first veteran fight.
right. Yeah. No. Now everybody's real good. It's a lot of fun. So I'm
Okay,
enjoying that.
that's
Yeah.
nice. I enjoyed the picture you sent me the other day.
Well, yeah. So right now it's only open. It's only been open Thursday to Saturday through the winter time, and they tried last night opening it up on the Sunday. People were in there from about 3 to 5, just watching the end of the NASCAR and the beginning of the drag race finals for the week. And once that was over, they all headed home. So I sent you a picture that had absolutely nobody in the bar. But I get paid by the hour, so eh, nobody, somebody doesn't make it. Just makes it go by a little slower.
Mhm.
So,
Nice.
yeah, having fun with that. This week's best of the week. What do you have?
You know, what? I'm just going to say everything I've read and watched, and then I'll give you the best of it,
Okay.
or maybe not even the best of it, just something I want to talk about. Uh,
Sure.
so as far as reading, I think since the last show, I've finished Ascender and Descender. I've read Murder Falcon and am reading The Immortal Hulk right now. I'm not too far into The Immortal Hulk, maybe only 5 issues, I think. Maybe 6. I think I finished the arc. As far as watching, of course, I watched Ted Lasso and The Mandalorian. But Apple TV has another show on. I know you've watched it as well. The Big Door Prize.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed that show quite a bit. It's this machine shows up in a small town. No one quite knows who ordered it or even how it was delivered. And what they do is they give a social security number, fingerprints, and then it gives you a card for your destiny. No, your potential.
Right, life potential.
Yeah, not destiny, your potential. And so it's been a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah, I think the most unbelievable part is that this many people would put in their social security and fingerprints in a machine that no one knows how it got there.
Right.
And then again, if I wanted reality and TV shows, I probably wouldn't watch any of them.
Yeah.
So
of course.
You got to be able to accept some craziness in TV. So
yeah.
You
know what I'm really enjoying with it? I'm loving. There's been 3 episodes so far, right?
Yes, I believe they drop on Wednesdays, just like Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I love the way they're transitioning from character to character.
Yes.
But they're building on it. They're not just forgetting the previous week's episode.
There is a main character. The teacher is the main character. What are you doing, Kat? So
for some reason that scared me because for some reason I thought it was behind me. And I'm like, no. I don't own a cat. What happened?
Nope, she's just gonna sit there and look all stuck up.
Start licking herself here shortly.
Oh, yeah, I'm going for that animal porn crowd. Anyway, so the teacher / Whistler is the main character of the show. He has an accent I can understand, which is great for me. I really enjoyed the 3rd episode, especially the ending.
Yes.
So, the ending of the 3rd episode, because there's a kind of a double entendre there that I really like.
Exactly.
So, it's just, I highly recommend checking it out. Is it earth-shattering? No, but it's really entertained me and
it is
a lot of fun.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, really a great concept.
Good storytelling along with it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for me. We're also doing a rewatch of Sweet Tooth, and then we're also still watching Modern Family. So
right. Mandalorian was excellent this week. Probably the best episode they've had in all season, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
I've enjoyed the season, but this episode really felt Star Wars. It felt like season 1 type stuff that was really enjoyable for me.
It felt huge.
Yeah, it did.
It felt like it's going somewhere, and people's lives are going to change because of this episode.
Right. Yeah, definitely the best episode of the season.
And probably the worst pirate I've ever seen. He was bad, So.
Yeah, not very good at his job.
Yeah, but you got to expect some of that with TV.
Right. So a couple of things for me to add on to your list there. Been reading Doom Patrol thanks to DC Patrol. Jason getting me onto that story. That's the one from the 80s. I don't know who writes it. I can't remember. It's not something I ever thought I would enjoy. But the story and the characters I like a lot. A lot of the dialogue, I don't understand what the heck they're saying, what they're talking about. But the story is good enough to...
How can you like a story when you don't know what they're saying?
Well, there's enough of a normal conversation in between the very, I guess, poetic, abstract type stuff that goes along with it. So It doesn't take away... I could kind of skim past that stuff because it just loses me.
You're reading this on Comixology?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So having fun with that. A new TV show that we're watching is on Paramount Plus, I believe. It's called Rabbit Hole, and it's Kiefer Sutherland. And if you're into any of his other shows like 24 or Designated Survivor, that's kind of a conspiracy theory type show where you can't really figure out what's going on. He's somebody's after him, and he's got to figure out the mystery, and weird stuff keeps happening. Then it's definitely your type of show. So it's fun. And then the other thing was WrestleMania.
Hmm.
Watched that over the weekend, both nights. I watched them the next morning. I can't watch that many hours during the evening time when the wife is awake. So when she's still sleeping, I turn it on and watch it. Really enjoyed it. Some really probably the best WrestleMania in quite a few years. Most exciting for me anyway, as far as the storytelling and the matches. So
See, I want to know any of the wrestlers. So
right. Well, see, wrestling for me is a lot like the comic books, where the storytelling is more important than the art. So the wrestling part of it doesn't really. I mean, a good match is a good match, but if there's no real good story build-up with it, it's kind of pointless to me. So, yeah. So a lot of good payoffs for stories. Some bad stuff, some good stuff. Really enjoyed it. So that was my week. And, of course, today on Twitter, everybody's angry about it. So, yeah.
means they're probably doing their job right, huh?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, everybody expected Cody Rhodes to beat Roman Reigns, and it didn't happen. And of course, Roman Reigns is the bad guy, and everybody hates him. So that's kind of the purpose of it. Yeah. But that is fun. So that is my best of the week.
Nice.
I think that's all I've got.
Oh, yes. Wow.
You show me yours, Jim, and then I'll show you mine.
Okay, I got 2 new hardcovers in this week. I think Jason knows about them. I think you know about them, and well, I know you know about them. But anyway, so I got Grant Morrison's Animal Man run, Volume 1.
Nice looking book.
It is. They are very nice looking books. And Volume 2.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's great.
that's some nice art. How about those colors?
Very nice colors. Very nice colors.
Yeah,
for sure.
so that's what I got in this week. Maybe last week. I can't remember.
Yeah. So that reminds me of Doom Patrol, and I think Jason showed you the page when he read through it, and I read through it yesterday, and it's a page with both Booster and Animal Man on there at the same time, side by side.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be on purpose. Like, their appearance has to be on purpose. Like, their costume colors are the same.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Yeah. So.
And I know. Jason made the comment that I have a type.
Right.
Kind of true.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But I don't know anything about Animal Man's character himself, so I don't know if he's anything like Booster.
No, Buddy Baker has a family and not the silly. He's kind of the lovable lump, but I don't even know if that's right. I don't even know him all that well. So I have this, and I have Lemire's Animal Man run, and this came out first, so I wanted to read this, and it's probably the most famous Animal Man run. So I wanted to read this before I got to Lemire's, even though I've read a little bit of that.
And I'm glad you just mentioned Grant Morrison, because that's also who wrote the Doom Patrol book. So,
interesting.
Unless I've got that totally wrong. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I'm just going to look that up so I don't sound like too much of a fool.
Well, if you correct yourself.
Yep, it is Grant Morrison. So,
okay.
So the fact that he uses Booster and Animal Man in it is interesting, because he was the writer on that book there, right?
Yeah. On that book, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he's never written any Booster.
Right. But cool.
Well, unless you count the one minute page.
Yeah. I would say Doom Patrol is very ahead of his time. I mean, there were a few books that were also very similar, but as far as being ahead of their time, but yeah. That's pretty. Gets into some pretty, I guess, what would now be called woke stuff, and it's great. It's really good, really enjoyable. So,
Okay.
and then I'm also going to recommend the show to you again that I've recommended to you probably 100 times, and also Chris Evans if he's watching.
Buffy.
Dispatches from Elsewhere. Dispatches from Elsewhere on AMC Plus. Go check it out. It's also on Netflix or one of the other ones as well. Go check it out.
Dispatches from Elsewhere?
Dispatches from Elsewhere. I guess you don't read my DMs anymore, so
Apparently not, because I don't remember you ever mentioning that.
yeah.
Huh.
I highly recommend it. It's got Sally Field and what's his name? The dude that plays Marshall in How I Met Your Mother.
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel and a couple other characters. I don't know their names, but yeah, it's really, really good. It's one season, 10 episodes. I think you would like it.
Okay.
I'm like 99% sure that Chris Evans would like it. So, yeah. We'll leave
What's
that
my
there.
percentage?
Like 70.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which means you'll probably make it through like 7 episodes.
Yeah, and Chris Evans is 29% better than me in this.
Yeah, for sure.
Curse
All right, my You Show Me Yours is my Lego Batmobile. I put this together quite a few years back. It sits next to my chop. The little hood opens up here. I don't have a Batman character in there. That pulls up. Probably going to end up breaking it here. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Wheel spin, all the good stuff. One of my bigger Legos.
I don't have any Legos.
No?
Mm-mm.
What's up with that?
I'm
That's
not
all
a
I-
Lego guy.
That's all I can say is what's up with that. And now I'll probably never get it back together, but that's okay.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to have a hobby with something that if I trip to show someone, it takes me 17 more hours to put it back together.
I did keep the instructions in the box. The box is somewhere out in my shed, and I'd probably never find them. So if it comes apart, it's probably never going back together.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we're going to end up with Legos. I got 2 young boys, so we're going to have something.
Yeah. Cool. Breaking news. Released recently the Blue Beetle trailer.
What?
The Blue Beetle trailer. Yeah. What did you think?
I loved it. I try not to get too hyped with trailers and stuff like that. I was going to want to see this movie anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a Booster Gold fan. Booster Gold's best friend is Blue Beetle. Not this one in this movie, but still, I do enjoy this
Right.
character. So even though I know very little about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah, I really. There's trailers that come out that I immediately call my wife and say, "Hey, do you want to watch this with me?" And that was one of them.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, do you want to go and see this with me at the theater?" I'm not sure how excited she was about it, but she said yes.
Right.
So I got a date.
Nice.
And, this time it's my wife. Just kidding, Mom. So, yeah, it looks like a really good time in the movie theater. And then, of course, I love that they threw shade at Batman at the end. That cracked me up.
That was pretty funny. Fascist.
Yes.
Batman's a fascist.
So yeah, I am really looking forward to that movie now. Even more so
I
than
mentioned earlier, I think it kind of had the first Ant-Man kind of feel to it with the trailer. Like that's the vibe I got from just the look of it. The costume, the Blue Beetle costume reminded, or suit, whatever, reminded me very much of the bad guy.
Yellow Jacket,
Yellow Jacket suit.
Darren Cross.
A little bit. The
Modok.
look. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Um, I think we're good by this point. Yeah, so it had that vibe, but it had a fun feel to it, and that's what I want in a film. I want it to be fun. Uh, it definitely has that James Gunn approved. I don't know how much he had on the input of this. Probably not very much because he wasn't probably there yet. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be that kind of direction with it. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. Now I don't remember the Scarab ever having a voice in any Blue Beetle that I've read, which isn't a lot.
That's because comic books don't have sound. So.
Oh. Yeah, but I don't even remember the box. I don't remember the little. Man, why do they try to put soundtracks on the back of? Anyway, yeah, I don't remember that. I do like that the suit will sometimes do what you want, and sometimes I kind of get a kick out of that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this movie. This would be one I go to the theater and see.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Shazam is one I wanted to go to the theater to and just haven't made it.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I think with the Booster Gold series coming out, when does that come out? In
2020.
Couple years, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
yeah. It's hard to be excited.
It's definitely down the road if it actually makes it and if it actually gets released. And I can see this being used as a way. I mean, with Booster being a time traveler, it would be a good way to introduce the original Blue Beetle into the Booster series as he's traveling around and stuff. So they wouldn't have to go through all his lore and all that kind of stuff because it would all be kind of hashed out in this as far as the Scarab and all that. So yeah, I mean that would be cool to see down the road.
Yeah. I'm trying to get someone to tell me if the Blue Beetle graduation day run was any good, because I kind of want to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it unless I have someone tell me, hey, yeah, it was worth the read. So
yeah,
because I think I'm going to pass on Steve Orlando's Scarlet Witch run.
Oh yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of his writing generally.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I need to tighten the purse strings up a little. Not that I carry a purse.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. It's a man bag.
That's right. Yeah. I wonder if you can pull it off like Joey did. I wonder.
I can pull it off better than Joey did.
Think so?
Well, for the longest time I pretended to have a car just like Joey did.
That's true. That's true.
You have a mail message.
Viewer mail this week. The first letter comes from Penny from Pasadena. Hey guys, keep up the great work. Heard you were doing the list about cars this week. I hope my car makes the list. It has the best check engine light ever. Thanks for reading my letter. Well, you're just going to have to wait and see, Penny. I don't know if your car will be on either one of our lists, but yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. The second one comes from Max from Toledo. Not sure what vehicles you guys are going to make on your list, but I wouldn't recommend the 1952 Willys Jeep. The open air will do a job on your makeup. Yeah, Max, I imagine you are right about that. Probably not good for your hair either, but thanks for writing in. We love all your cards and letters. Always keep them coming. If you'd like to comment or ask us a question, just write in and send all letters to 1 Yemen Road, Yemen. Any response to either of those letters, Jim?
I would like any listener here to actually send us a letter.
Oh, a real one.
I think that'd be fun.
Oh, not that these aren't real.
Man.
You can edit that out later. I know. We just pulled back the curtain, didn't we? Man. Rookie mistake.
Why are we even doing the show anymore?
Oh well.
Keep the fake ones coming.
But absolutely. If you have a question for me or Jim, for reals.
For reals?
For reals. Let us know. Let us know. And that is going to take us right into this week's top 10 list, our top 10 TV movie vehicles. And as always, we will start with somebody other than me.
Oh, that would be me.
Nice.
So it's funny here. I had actually the make of the car and everything written down here, but I can't read it. So I
Okay.
don't know. It is the pretty much the station wagon in Vacation.
Ah, Vacation. So I'm going to tell you right now, I have a whole list of cars and their makes and models. And I looked at that one and I'm like, there's no way anybody picks that. So uh, I did not load a picture. It's a great car, isn't it?
Well, it goes through so much, and it's ongoing. So
Yeah.
it's a 1979 or 1974 Ford LTD.
1979 Ford LTD. Yes. Country
So,
Squire. That sounds
yeah.
fancy.
Esquire. So yeah, that's my number 10. Mostly because the jump, in the desert.
For sure.
I think that's pretty fantastic. Now they did have to take it and get it repaired, but you know what? That car kept going, and then it doubled as a hearse.
Yeah. How do you think do you think they were able to get the smell of grandma out of it?
I don't think she was dead long enough to ever have the smell. I think the
Well,
smell
like grandma's smell before they die. So
the smell of the dog out the back was probably worse.
that probably.
Burnt fur.
Oh, it's such a great movie.
Yes, it's a great.
Such a good movie, man.
Yeah,
I don't. Do you like? Is that your favorite vacation movie, or is Christmas Vacation higher on
no,
your
the first
list?
one's my favorite.
The first, yeah, for
I,
sure.
I don't even know if the Christmas one is my second favorite. I really like Vegas Vacation as well.
Oh, it's been so long since I watched that one.
Yeah,
I always forget about that one, actually.
yeah. Well, my favorite part of that is the secondhand casinos where it's, rock paper scissors and stuff like that. Just cracks me up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I'm listening. I'm just looking for something real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good for sure. There we are. All right. For some reason, I missed my number 10. So nice. European's good, though, too, when they get stuck in the roundabout. I like that.
Yeah. No, that one's been a long
Kids.
time since I've seen
Big
that.
Ben Parliament. Big Ben Parliament. Yeah. As they keep owner, which can happen. That happened to me when we were over there. Like, not at the Parliament building, but at certain roundabouts. If you get in them, you get in the wrong lane, you can kind of get stuck in the middle. So
Obviously, you
for
got
sure. Maybe. My number 10 is a 1977 Pontiac Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit.
This makes my list too.
Awesome. I mean,
I gotta find where at.
well, you don't have to tell me. We'll wait till we get there.
No, that's fine. We could. Wait, where is it at?
Maybe it's not on your list.
It should be.
So what's funny with this car is it looks cool. Those cars, they actually when they came out, they only had like the stock ones only had like 170 horsepower or something, like almost no power. They just looked amazing. Probably one of the best looking cars, for sure. Plus, you have Sally Field and Burt Reynolds that make it look even better. So, yeah.
I'm going to call you Frog.
Oh, such good. Yeah. A movie that has probably one of the worst sequels ever.
I don't even remember watching the sequel.
Well, that's because it's not even Burt Reynolds that plays the bandit. It's a whole different character, too, but they have flashbacks of the Burt Reynolds character throughout the movie, like giving them advice. Yeah, it's not good.
Okay.
It is not good. So
I'm going to have to not watch that sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Don't watch it.
My number 9 is Kit from Knight Rider.
Kit from Knight Rider. There he is. Look at that thing.
Yeah. mean, who doesn't want a car with turbo? I still think about pushing the turbo jump every now and again when I'm driving.
Turbo boost.
Turbo
For
boost,
sure.
yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's not turbo jump, but that's what it does essentially.
Right. Well, if you remember the first season, it just made it go faster,
I don't.
and then later on in the season, it would make it jump. And then once they got to like season 5, the car transformed and did all that other weird, funky stuff. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, that is a 1982 Pontiac Trans Am.
When did he?
That's our second Trans Am.
When did they go against Goliath?
The truck, that was like season 3 or 4.
I remember that being a big deal. I remember I went to like 7-Eleven to get like 4 Slurpees before I can get the blueprints to that truck.
Yeah.
It was something weird.
Do you remember when they went against Carr?
Yeah.
Who was Kit's twin? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a face-off. And, well, there was actually a few episodes that they met Carr. But ultimately, Carr ended up driving himself off a cliff because he was programmed to protect himself while Kit was programmed to protect Michael. So, yeah.
Wasn't there a look like Michael driving that car?
There was.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
great.
they even had the look like Michael. Did you ever see the reboot series? It was on for like 2 seasons. It was, or maybe just 1 season. It was actually pretty good. The car was cool. It wasn't a Trans Am. I think it was a Camaro. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, it was really good. I was mad that they took that one off. Well, not mad, but I was upset they took that one off the air. So that was your number 9.
My number 9.
Nice. My number 9 from Supernatural. That is the 1967 Chevy Impala. Dean and Sam drove that car all over the country. It seemed like they can go from Kansas to California in like 4 hours because, well, that's what they did.
Because of the magic of TV?
Yes. Like they would travel across the country and no time would pass seemingly. So, yeah, just a magic car, I guess. But no, that car went through a beating throughout the series. It was Dean's pride and joy. Plus, every time at the end of the episode, as they were driving away, the music playing, and you carry on Wayward Son and all that playing every time they were in the car, or all sorts of other stuff. One episode they filmed was actually from the point of view of the car. It was actually done really cool. So everything was from inside the car. So all the things that happened outside, you could just it was like their voices were muffled and stuff, and you could see what was going on, but you couldn't quite hear the characters. But everything was from the car's point of view, basically. Really cool episode.
Okay.
One of my favorite series.
Never seen it.
For sure. Yeah. Number 8.
Okay, so my number 8 was inspired by your introduction, and it's the boat. So I'm going with the Beaumont from Friends.
Oh, I do not have the Mr. Beaumont on here.
Yeah, so Joey goes to a silent auction, and he's got to guess the price of the boat, and of course, not realizing he bought the boat. And then they try to talk him out of. They try to sell it to the next highest bidder, and of course, they're talking him into it, talking the boat up, and then Joey's like, "I want the Mr. Beaumont." So anyway,
of course, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it really makes me laugh. Him and Rachel's, and then Joey in the outfit,
the captain suit, yeah, sailor suit,
captain suit,
sailor suit, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, it just cracks me up. But I really enjoy that episode. It makes me laugh. Rachel teaching him how to do it,
beating him up. Yeah,
it's terrible.
But he gets the last word, right? He hooks the the cooler up to the whatever it's called when he pulls the rope. The beer, the beer slides over.
Mm-hmm.
They're just in port. Yeah.
I mean, who names their boat the Coast Guard anyway?
Just imagine you're on the the what was the guy's wife's name?
The Mrs. Beaumont.
And he's like, and the wind's, and Rachel says, and the wind's blowing through your, and he's bald.
Scalp.
Yeah, just it's a great episode. Great
Yeah.
episode.
Phoebe was drinking for the children. The more alcohol
Yeah.
I drink, the less they can.
That's right.
That's a great episode.
20,000. 20,000. I guessed it. It was great. All right, my number 8 is a 1958 Plymouth Fury, and it is from Christine, Stephen King movie. This car is very protective of its driver. They build a really good relationship through the movie, almost to a creepy point, like weird boyfriend girlfriend type relationship. Have you ever seen this movie?
I've never seen this movie.
So the car becomes very protective of this guy, and he starts to kind of lose his mind, like happens in most Stephen King stuff. And anytime somebody tries to destroy the car, it repairs itself. Yeah, so
Why would they destroy the car?
because it kills people,
Oh, well, you neglected the
crushes
whole lot.
people, it runs people over that try to attack the kid driving it. But he goes and buys this beat up old car at a junkyard, and he gets it really cheap, and it's just tore up. It doesn't even look like it runs. And
This
then
is like
he gets it.
it's like the same origin story for the Volkswagen Transformer.
Oh yeah, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. Oh man, I was drawing a blank on that. Yeah, same origin story.
Yes.
Just slightly
Sure.
different moral center.
All right. Number 7.
By the way, number 8, the Mr. Beaumont took the Batmobile off my list,
Ah,
which is probably going to make Chris mad because my number 7, both Chris's. My number 7 now is the Mystery Machine, Scooby Doo.
the Mystery Machine. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, no particular reason other than it's recognizable to me, and my daughter.
1966 Ford Ecoline E100.
Wow, I didn't even realize it was based on a real van.
Yeah. Can you imagine the shenanigans that happened in that van?
Oh, with
Like,
4 people and a dog.
I mean, there was a lot of Scooby snacks happening. And yeah,
So,
Fred.
do you enjoy the entendres, double entendres, that movie, that are implied with the Mystery Machine
In the cartoon or in the movie?
in the movie, and even in the cartoon? It's kind of there. Maybe not as blatant as the movie.
Like about it being like a drug sex van?
Yeah,
Like a hippie. I don't know if the cartoon intended that. I think the movie took it further, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think as a kid I even cared. I don't think that's stuff that a kid would catch on to. So
oh, I definitely didn't as a kid.
right, no.
Okay.
But it's kind of funny looking back now. Sure, that's just a great looking van. Look at that. Yeah.
Who's your
Nice.
favorite?
Oh, Daphne. Well, Scooby, but Daphne. Well, Scrappy, but he's not in that picture. Scrappy was always my favorite.
So I asked you, and you gave me 3 answers. Man,
Everybody but Fred or Velma.
we need a top 5 list of Scooby Doo characters.
That's
We're going
right.
to get to the bottom of this. Yeah, Daphne. But I also like Velma. I like her better than Fred and Shaggy.
Well, I forgot about Shaggy, too. So I don't know how old I was when I realized that Shaggy's voice was Casey Kasem. I was probably in my early 20s. And it's like, Oh yeah, I recognize that voice now.
Yeah, I don't think I would recognize it just watching the show.
Right.
Okay,
Nice.
you're right.
Mystery Machine. My number 7 is the Ferrari 308 GTS from the original Magnum PI series. Uh, Man, that car, the fact that it was in Hawaii, cruising along the beaches. Um, when you look at it, it looks kind of funky now. Like the front end looks kind of weird and stuff, and the newer ones are actually pretty cool. But
Yeah, it is a funny looking car, I think.
well, all the cars, even if you look at like the Corvettes and stuff of the early '80s, they had that front end shape that was really pointy like that, and the corners weren't rounded or anything. Even the Camaros were the same way.
Hmm.
That was just the style. Probably my least attractive era of cars. But I mean, it was Tom Selleck driving a Ferrari, so throw on the theme music, and
You're
you're
drooling.
definitely good to go. So when we talk about the shenanigans that happen in the Mystery Machines, I can't even imagine what happened in the Ferrari.
There's no back seat.
Didn't need to be.
Okay, my number 6 is Archie, the Night Owl's ship.
Yeah, I don't have that one on the list here.
It's almost like he didn't
Sorry.
consult me about this.
I know. I tried to guess all the extra ones that you might guess, but I failed miserably. I feel like you made an active attempt to go with different stuff that I.
Well, so I did go with some different stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
It gives us
We don't want
something.
to be duplicating. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I don't even know a whole lot about this. I just know I would want one if I could have one.
So this was Archie's car.
No, this is Night Owl's.
Oh, Night Owl.
Yeah.
I thought you said Archie.
Well, its name is Archie.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, this okay. I'm with you now. I'm with you.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that looks like an owl.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
Night
there we
Owl
go.
vehicle.
Yes, gotcha. Man,
Yeah, and then oh man, it's been so long since I've seen that movie. I mean, but you can do all kinds of stuff on the dash.
uh-huh. Imagine the shenanigans that happen in there.
I don't want to brag, but I've seen some stuff.
I know, right? So, do we know what powered that thing? Like, because it had all sorts of abilities. Like, it wasn't the
Yeah.
fastest thing ever, but it had the movements more of like a blimp. But it had, I don't know.
I don't know. I like to think it was the next step in the Last Navigator series of vehicles, but not as fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed that.
Cool. All
Cool.
right. Cool.
Oh,
My number 6, the Fall Guy truck, 1980 GMC K25 4x4.
never entered my thought process.
Any vehicle that jumps, and there was a lot of those in the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a great truck. The big wheels jacked up. The suspension on that thing must have been amazing because it never got damaged. It'd do all those jumps, never got damaged. Sorry, I came back during the middle of a yawn.
yeah. I apologize.
So,
Of course, I don't remember a whole lot of episodes from. I don't remember any episode. I can't tell you a single one. So I wouldn't
Right.
mind rewatching some of that show just to see it.
yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a stuntman who fights crime?
I don't know. They got to be out there, right? I mean, there's people
They
that
are.
don't like everything.
Right. For sure. So that was the Fall Guy truck, 1980 GMC. That was the number 6, and that's going to take us down to number 5 if we're going in order here. Which we might as well.
Did you just cut yourself off?
I don't think so. Did it cut off on your side?
Well, it didn't cut off, but it definitely went up before you were finished talking.
Oh, I tried to time it just perfect.
It brought me a lot of joy. So my number 5 is the Bug, Blue Beetle's vehicle.
Oh man.
And
Yeah, I don't have one on my list either.
it's a lot like Archie. So yeah, that's it. Ted Cord probably designed it. And so if Ted Cord designed that and they fly it in that trailer,
Right.
but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Cord Industries is
a thing.
And I'm sure that's it's got to be a thing. Whether they involve him or not is still to be seen. But like I said, that would be cool. It's a pretty cool vehicle.
That's not it.
The one.
Nope.
That's not it.
That's the thing they drove in the last miniseries with Blue and Gold. No, this flies.
Oh, okay. Bug ship. That would be a bug ship. Okay. I thought I was doing you a solid there, but all right. I don't have that one. If you're watching at home and you're curious, just type it in. It'll pop up on your screen. So
do a little work. We're not going to do everything.
That's right. That's right. I can't do all the legwork for you. Speaking of bugs, my number 5 is Herbie, 1963 VW Beetle. So many fun movies. Herbie Goes Bananas probably being one of the top ones. So I was reading about this a little bit. Most of the speed of the car was done because with graphic, Disney magic and all that kind of stuff. But for some of the scenes that weren't sped up, where they wanted to use practical, they actually had a Porsche engine that was put in the car that made it go faster, like 90 miles between up to 110 miles per hour in a VW Bug. So pretty interesting.
So my first vehicle was a 1974 Volkswagen Beetle. And I used to, so I am not a car guy, but I can get out at a stop sign and soak up gas out of a carburetor of a Volkswagen Beetle because it would flood every time I stopped. So to make my car run, I would have to stop, soak up gas out of the carburetor, get back in the car and go. So
what I love about the Beetle and what I love about Herbie is, sentient cars. There's something about sentient cars that I really enjoy. But what I like about the Volkswagen Beetle is just the fact that they never mess with the style.
Mm-hmm.
Like the newer ones are a little different build, but pretty much the whole history of the car, there's no different styles with it. It's all the same.
They're prone to fire because of the battery being in the back seat, but
for sure.
But yeah, it was a fun first car. I never knew if I was going to get to where I was going, which. So I have another fun little story with that. So I was going to a community college at the time, and I locked my keys in the car. And so I had to call my parents. My dad came, and with my dad used to recover stolen vehicles for the police department that he worked for.
Uh-huh.
And so he was having trouble getting into this Bug. And I think it was about a week later. Finally, he did and went home. About a week later, I discovered that all I had to do was put my thumb on the lock and turn it, and it worked. It was pretty awesome.
And you opened the door, and 9 clowns came crawling out.
No. Well, just this one.
Yeah. Some of those cars, man, they are cool. They're not very good cars, but they're cool. They're fun. They get would they get like 40 miles to the gallon or something?
Well, it's because they use a lawnmower motor.
Yeah, it's like a 900 cc or something.
Yeah, and
800
then
cc, 900 cc engine.
the heat was heat from the engine. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember my dad picked up about three junkers, and then we fixed up one of them with all the parts and everything. Yeah, it was fun.
nice. Nice. All right. My number 4 is what did I have here? Let me make sure I got it right.
I haven't done mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. You haven't done your number 4, have you?
What is up?
Oh, I got ahead of the game.
Oh, it makes me think of fantasy baseball. So my number 4 is Serenity from Firefly.
From what?
From Firefly.
Okay, I've never seen that, so I don't have that on the list either. Jeez,
It's
you're killing me.
It's one season of a show. You need to
Right.
watch it.
Right.
So
Firefly.
it's an amazing ship. The whole show is based on the freedom that ship provides these people. I even recommend watching the movie Serenity. I enjoy that movie. So you can watch one season of the show, and then you can watch the movie to see what Joss Whedon wanted to do with the show. So
Let me see if I got this one right. Just to.
it's a big spaceship. That's it.
All right. Cool. So, what makes this ship better than other ships?
I like the whole Western spacing that show does.
Gotcha.
So I like that show.
Gotcha.
I mean, like I thought about putting the Millennium Falcon on my list, but I've never been a Falcon guy. It's not,
Yeah.
I don't care how many parsecs it did the Kessel run in. So, yeah, I don't know, and I'm not a huge Firefly guy. Even though I really do like the show and enjoy the movie, it's not something I consider myself as like, oh, you have to watch this, even though I'm telling you
Right.
you should. But I like that ship. I like the mechanic of that ship. I love. Yeah, you just have to watch the show. It's breaking down constantly. It's a part of the team. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy that show.
I'm sure I would. I don't know why I've never watched it. I really don't.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, my number 4. There we go. And of course, that is the 1969 Dodge Charger.
But generally,
The General Lee, Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, I think it's probably one of the most recognizable cars ever. Again, a car that jumps and never hurts the suspension. The fact that it drives around in circles on dirt roads and makes Roscoe chase it, and he never thinks to just step on the brakes, or just drive to their house and arrest them because he knows where they live. But yeah, the car, the welded, it's a race car. The welded doors, they have to go through the window. That made it so much cooler.
Yeah, not sure why, but it did.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This probably should be on my list. I mean, this was way before I knew anything about General Lee or any of that. I mean, none of that really should take away from the car, but it kind of does a little, So, but yeah, it was just a lot of fun jumping. I mean, where are all these ramps coming from in this town?
Right. Don't they ever repair their bridges?
I know. Roscoe Pico.
How do they even get out of town? Yeah.
Yeah. How do you get out of town without having to jump? And then and then Daisy Duke. It just. Yeah, I mean it's a.
Another nice vehicle.
I forgot she had a Jeep.
She did. And she
What
also.
about Boss Hogg?
Yeah.
Boss Hogg with a little hog on the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there were some nice cars there. So
yeah,
that is my number 4. Yeah, that show was all about cars.
My number 3 is the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters.
The Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters. There we go.
Just a fun car.
Yeah.
Just aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice one. 1959 Cadillac ambulance / hearse.
Yeah. It's not even in the movie that much.
Now it's in the cartoon far more.
Yeah, and it's in, I think, Afterlife more than it is in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But man, is it cool.
It is. I mean, I don't have the side view there, but yeah, it's just a cool car. It is, and it's probably one of the more practical vehicles on these lists. Like, it's made for what they need.
Yes. Yeah, ambulance / hearse.
Yes, exactly. Plus, it's just a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go now. I need to go watch that movie.
Fun movie.
The first one. Might watch them all.
I haven't seen 2 in a very long time.
I know. It's been a while. It's been a minute, as the kids say. Do they still say that, or was that like a minute ago? That might have passed already.
I don't know.
Please write in. Please write in for our next mails. Do kids still say it's been a minute? All right. My number 3. There we go. 1983 GMC Vandura. Of course, A-Team van.
How did I forget about the A-Team van?
Driven most of the time by B.A. Baracus. This thing could pull into a farm, a barn, anywhere and come out with a tank. Like, I don't know what supply. We talk about the Ecto-1 being practical. This van carried no telling.
Yeah,
they can make anything out of here. This might as well have been. Can you imagine MacGyver with this van?
No. Can't even fathom that.
Yeah. Plus, it also jumped a lot. And the mags. So, you don't see mags too often on vehicles.
Yeah, that's nice.
Anymore. It is. It's a nice looking van. So, did you watch that show much?
I did.
Yeah.
I even enjoyed the movie. I know some people didn't.
The movie was funny. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, I had to watch a movie that has one of the main characters has my last name. So.
Yeah. Your last name is Smith?
Yes.
Okay. I was going through the list of their names in my head. I'm like, come on, get it right.
Funny story here. I have 2 number 3s on my list.
Nice. That's the way to do it.
Okay, so we're going with Smokey and the Bandit number 2.
Cool. Smokey and the Bandit. And again, there it is. Wow. Nice car.
It is a nice car. And used for a fun purpose in a movie.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I guess most of them are, but this one is probably something it could have done.
Right.
Just to detract from the bootlegging. The whole movie's about bootlegging, which is just awesome.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Makes me want to have a beer.
Like you need another excuse.
Yeah. I haven't had anything today. I'm back on my health kick.
I'm out. We got to finish the show here soon because it's out. So I ran out of all the good stuff, so now I'm drinking Crown and Coke. It was all I had left in the cupboard. Well, not really, but it was the only thing that sounded good tonight. It didn't even sound that good. It was just a necessity. So,
you just got to have something for the show.
That's right. Got to have
like
something
my wife, you got to have a drink to get through anything with me.
Exactly. So, all right. Yeah. Where were we? I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Oh, you were on the...
Number 2 for you. You're a
It's
big
probably
Nolan.
Jackie Gleason is just hilarious. Buford T. Justice, Sheriff Buford T. What a
See,
great name.
yeah, I love the name, but I do not like that character at all.
Really.
Yeah, I I don't know. I mean, is it just because he's the sheriff that everyone is so okay with? I don't understand what people like about him.
It's just a funny character. Like he could have fit in Porky's. He could have been in Porky's as the sheriff, or as like
He
the.
could have been in Porky's
You
as
know,
Porky.
that's true. He could have been. He could have been.
Yeah, I liked his nephew or son or whoever that was. Nephew, right?
Right.
I think I
Nephew.
like I
Yes.
think I liked that character a little better, even though he was a little too snivelly.
Right.
I don't know. I think Sally Fields is my favorite character in that whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch that movie again.
It's cool. Yeah. Don't watch number 2 though. My number 2, talked about already, is Kit from Knight Rider. Nothing. I mean, that car is just so good.
I could do anything.
Bulletproof tires, fast. It was like Tesla before Tesla drove itself, talked, and I like that the upgrades it had over the years was they changed the design of the voice lights. You know, that was one of the big changes they made through the years. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the episodes of that, and the only one I remember is I think it's the pilot where he falls asleep and he gets pulled over.
Uh huh.
It-
Yeah, the pilot.
yeah, that just amused me.
Yeah. A car that jumps without a ramp. Like, that's just amazing.
It's amazing. It's unheard of. It could have made it out of Hazard County.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have had to, though.
yeah, because they had
Roscoe
ramps.
wasn't getting through those those windows.
Hmm.
Actually, it was the first episode too that the guy who originally shot Michael before he had the surgery came back and tried to shoot him, right, and shot at the window, and bullet came back and killed him. That's the pilot. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yep. Yeah, the guy who thought he killed Michael in the first place comes back and tries to kill him.
Now it's probably been since the early '90s that I've seen that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it is cheesy in the best way. Like,
like a cheesecake.
David Hasselhoff is he's very Hasselhoffy. Like it's great. It's great. You just can't have shows like that anymore.
Yeah.
We just can't have fun anymore. Numero uno.
Can you guess my number one?
Can I guess your
Or
number
what
one?
hasn't been said?
Oh, there's a lot that hasn't been said. I'm going to go with DeLorean for you.
There you go.
All
Yeah.
right.
Good call. Yeah, Back to the Future. I mean, if I ever hit 88 miles an hour now, which I never do because I drive responsibly, yeah, it's just a great looking car.
And the wing doors are just amazing.
Mm-hmm. The flux capacitor is state of the art.
It's probably the most modern flux capacitor I've ever seen on a vehicle.
Well, yeah. I mean, are they solar now? I don't even think you need the electricity.
No. Yeah, now you don't even have to dump food in there anymore. It's just solar. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to dump trash in there.
No.
Nice. Yeah, that's just a fun car with a fun purpose.
Now, in reality, that car is just ridiculous all the way around.
Yes.
Stainless steel for a car. Like, come on now. Didn't have a lot of power in it. 88 was probably the top speed. That's probably why they went with that. Expensive as It just looked like something a rich person should have.
Well, if you're going to make a time machine, you might as well do it with style.
I'm just wondering, like, why did stuff inside get really cold after time travel? Did they ever explain that?
I don't.
Like, why
know.
does the frost air always come out when they open the door?
Yeah,
The steam
I mean, I
frost.
don't know. I'm assuming it has to do with time travel,
Hmm.
but also Matt Tracker drove a DeLorean that could do that in the flight. Or was it a DeLorean? Oh, I don't know. Don't take my word on that. I don't know if that's true.
Cool. Great movie, too. Another set of movies I need to go watch now.
Yes,
Thanks.
great movies.
My number one, 1968 Mustang GT. This sold for $3.74 million at auction. And it is Bullet. Just a fun movie, a great, one of the most famous cars
How come I
as
don't
far
know
as
this
movies
car?
go. Huh?
How come I don't know it?
You don't know Bullet?
I guess not.
Oh my! I don't even.
What's it from?
Bullet.
That's the
movie
name of the
Bullet.
movie?
Steve McQueen.
Oh, well, yeah, I've never seen it.
No?
Nope.
Oh, this is like a classic. This is like, man, people, if you're watching, if you're still with us, let it right in. This is almost as bad as laughing at me for the Magna PI theme song. Probably one of the most widely known, famous cars, above the General Lee, above the DeLorean.
I don't think so.
Oh, man. Oh, it hurts. I mean, it physically, the pain I'm feeling.
That's because you're out of alcohol.
This is like my prom night. Like, you get your hopes up, you get excited about something, and then it just gets crushed. Like,
Okay, these are two completely different expectations we have here.
oh,
Yeah,
man.
no, I've never even heard of this.
Huh. So, yeah, like I said, I talked about the auction price. The other cars that were selling for like 500,000 at auction or 80,000 at auction, this sold for $3.74 million at auction.
What other cars were going up?
I don't know. I don't think, does that matter?
Well, yeah. If you're putting what you say is the most famous car ever up against a 1973 Pontiac, you can't give numbers like that. It don't matter.
I don't know.
I mean, if you were selling against like Ecto One or the Back to the Future car, then
Well, it's not like there's a max. It's not like there's a. It's not like they have to spend $5 million at this auction, and this goes for 3.74, and the other 12 can only go for that 1.45. This is like people bid up to that much for this car, whether there was 50 cars there or not.
yeah, no, I understand, but you can't compare it to other cars then without them being famous cars. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say all the other cars went for that because you don't know what those cars are.
Like, okay,
You know, do-
I'm talking about auction prices of famous cars. Like,
yeah, but what other famous cars were going?
you mean at the same sell or what?
At any sale.
I don't know. All I know is this car sold for like $3.75 million. Sure, there are cars in the past that have sold for more than that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Like,
I feel like I'm
unlike the
digging-
Magnum PI song, I am positive that on this car I am not on an island.
I'm not saying you are.
100%
I'm just saying
positive.
I am not on this island.
We got some other cars here.
Yep.
There we go. That is the Wayne's World, the 1976 AMC Pacer. Starsky and Hutch. We have the 1974 to 76 Gran Torino. They used 3 different models for this. Speed Racer. That's a great car right there. Great car. Really like that one. That is a Mach 5 based on the Ferrari Testarossa and the Ford GT40. One of my favorites that did not make my list, the Shaggin' Wagon.
So I thought about this, and I thought about the moped.
Uh-huh.
And then I also thought about the TARDIS.
Oh. Okay, so TARDIS sold for like $8 million, so that's my number 1.
But did it go against other TARDISes?
It doesn't matter.
I feel like I was giving you crap, and I wasn't trying to give you crap.
That's like saying if Action Comics was going to sell for $1.2 million, well, what was it going against? It doesn't matter. Action Comics
I know,
number 1 was...
But you don't say it sold for $1.2 million when all the other ones weren't. You can't compare it.
Munsters.
What's that from? The Munsters.
Munsters. So the Munsters, that one is a... Oh, where are we at here? I got it on my list. Maybe I don't. Oh, that's a Ford Model T. It's like 3 different cars put together. It's 18 feet long. Just crazy.
Car 54. Where are you?
We have the Aston Martin from Goldfinger. We have Fonzie's motorcycle, the 1949 Triumph TR5 Trophy. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's a great car. If I was doing valet, I probably would have taken it for a test drive as well.
Yeah, I really Ferrari. Thought about having this one on my list.
Yeah, that's great. This one almost made my number 10. So this is the 1960 BMW Isetta 300. Of course, Steve Urkel's car. Open in the front. You just climb into the seats.
That's beautiful.
It was. We have the Blues Brothers cop car.
I thought about that one too.
Neither of us had the Batmobile.
I know, and that's my favorite Batmobile. This
one is my favorite version of it as well.
Because I had the 89 on my list. I don't know why I didn't have that one.
That is a 1955 Lincoln Futura. And we had Airwolf as well. Just a gorgeous helicopter. Fired rockets, missiles, sunburst out the back to shoot down other missiles. Had jet engines on it, so it can go from hovering and turn into a jet and just take off. So many different cars.
We had no blimps.
I'm going to show this one again just because. Daisy's van. There we go. Yeah, great van. Or Jeep, I mean. Great Jeep. So
there's
some fun cars.
There's a Jeep.
There's a Jeep there. Yeah, great car. I did not get a picture of Uncle Jesse's pickup truck. So
this list was pretty easy, which is why I picked it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I did go a little obscure with mine just to before we didn't have the same top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's one on yours that I didn't even know. But
my number 1. That's 2 of my number 1s. You're like, I don't know that.
I mean, isn't it odd? I mean, that like if it's as famous as what you're saying is, and I'd be really curious to hear other people's thoughts. Like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm completely oblivious to it.
Right.
So it's just I think we all have those areas that we just miss,
Yeah.
And so I've never even heard of that. That's what's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to check out Bullitt.
So it's probably Steve McQueen's most famous. Not putting it against any other. Just saying it's probably his most famous movie. Can I say that without comparing it to his other movies?
Well, you can't. See, when I think of Steve McQueen, I think of The motorcycle one where he jumps the.
with the plane.
Wait, is that even Steve McQueen when they escape from the prison? He's a prisoner of war on the
The Great
motorcycle.
Escape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Yes.
I think of. And I don't think I've seen any of his movies, honestly.
Yeah. So next week's topic: top 10 Steve McQueen movies.
Good luck.
Yeah. Awesome.
I see. I don't
I
even-
am curious. I'm definitely curious now to hear other people's thoughts.
Yeah, I
about
mean,
this movie in this car.
like I said, it would not surprise me in the least if you're dead on.
Yeah.
But
Either way, whether anybody else knows what it is or not, it's my favorite car.
and yeah, and that's all that matters. It's your list.
That's all that matters.
How much
And
did you pay for it though? It,
in 1968, probably around. Did I say was it a 68? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, 68 Mustang GT. You know, those things were 1968 Mustang GT sticker price. $2,814. That was the convertible. The base was $2,600. So it sold for 10, 100, 1,000, almost 2,000 times its 1,000 and a half times its 1,500 times its sticker price. That's pretty good.
pretty good investment.
Not bad. Not every 1968 Mustang GT sold for that much. Just the one from that movie. Which there was probably like 12 of them from that movie.
Man, I bet they
Probably
bought,
got crashed and stuff.
could have bought a whole new studio.
For sure. For sure. Oh, there was one. Oh, did I get a picture on here? I got one more I want to show you. Here we go. There it is. Arrested Development.
I've never watched the rest of the development.
It's good. The first couple seasons are good. The reboot, not so much. I don't know if it would be the kind of. It's kind of a stupid, kind of weird
Yeah,
comedy.
I mean, I've tried watching it. It
Yeah.
didn't work for me,
Right.
but it's okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like Steve McQueen movies.
Right. Well, they're a little before your time.
Yeah, see, and yeah, my
One more. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you. I
That's
have to
okay.
show one
I'm
more.
used to it. Taxi.
Phoebe's Grandma's Taxi.
Is that what that is?
That is. Yep. That's
Where'd you
from.
get that?
That's from my wife's 3D puzzle of the Central Perk
Oh,
that she's got that she put together. That sits out front.
nice.
Yeah.
Has really clean windows.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in the entire series.
Yeah. Great car. Great car. Not a very good. Not very easy to get into if you lock yourself out. So, for sure. All right, that is going to do it for tonight. This was Midlife Vices episode 208. It was our top 10 list. Cars from movies and TV that we loved. Thanks so much for being with us. And next week, we will figure out something else to do. Not quite sure yet. Any ideas?
Not off the top of my head, I don't.
I know that you're
Yeah, I just came up with
excited.
this one today.
I know that you're excited for tomorrow night's Lost in Comics with Jeff Lemire.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
excited.
I'm looking forward. I'm definitely going to ask him some questions.
Do you know Bullet?
I promise you he does. I need to know who Eddie Elfin is. What's the purpose of that part of the story? That's my only question. Other than that, I'm good. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Take care, everyone.